Hey guys, Curt from Conquer Kingdoms here. I'm gonna do another episode of Curt's stuff. This will be episode 3. I have no idea why I'm doing a video right now. I just got out of work. I've been at work all day. It's like 11 o'clock at night. I'm exhausted, but I was thinking about it at work today, and I knew what I wanted to do, so I figured I'd just get home and do it while it was still on my mind. With the 2DS that just came out, the Nintendo 2DS, I figured I would do little mini reviews of all the 3DS games that I have. I bought my 3DS at launch. I don't typically buy things at launch, and I did because my regular DS happened to, it broke like the week before it came out, so I just waited a week and bought it at launch. The reason I don't do that is because with any system, there's usually a bunch of bugs and flaws and just stupid stuff like that. But if you do happen to buy the 2DS at launch, which I'm sure will have way less problems than the 3DS did, I figured I'd do little reviews of each game that I have so you'll know maybe if it's one you want to check out. So I'll just go in order. First is the Adventure Time. Hey Ice King, why'd you steal our garbage? This game is really, really good. I did not expect it to be as good as it was. I only bought it because it was $20, and I really like Adventure Time. It's a lot like Zelda 2. It kind of has that like overworld map, but then when you go into like a dungeon or into a town, it's a side scroller. And it's a lot of fun. It's very true to the game. I mean, well, it's very true to the cartoon. The music is great. The weapons are cool. The items are cool. It's not very hard, but it's still fun. And the only complaint I have is that it's very short. The whole time, I think I beat it in like 2 or 3 days. Like, every time I'd load up my file, I would see the percentage, and I'd be like, oh, holy crap, like, is it really that far in? And so it's very short, but it's a really good game, and it's only $20, so even though it's short, I highly recommend it. And I think this is a good example because I think this is a game that a lot of people wouldn't buy, but I think it's really definitely worth, 20 bucks, and it's fun. The second game I actually don't have a physical copy of, and that's Animal Crossing New Leaf. The reason I don't have a physical copy for that is because it came out on a Sunday, so I actually went to Walmart at 6 a.m. on a Sunday morning to get it, and as it turned out, it was released digitally on Sunday, but there were no physical copies until Tuesday. So, like, I've been waiting like a year to play that, so the temptation was too great. I usually love owning physical copies of things. I never like to download things, but I wasn't gonna wait 3 days when I thought was going to be able to play it then. So I downloaded it, and it's awesome. I loved the first Animal Crossing, or well, the first American one, the GameCube one. I played it so much when I was in middle school, and it was just awesome. And my complaint with like Wild World and City Folk was that they just didn't add enough. Like, it was just kind of, it felt pointless. Like, it felt like restarting your file over again for no reason. Like, it felt like the same game. But I got New Leaf, and it was just a lot different. The pace is kind of different, where you're the mayor, so you kind of have more say in what goes on, and it starts out very bare bones. Like, there's very little to do, and there's very few stores to go to, but it takes about and it's Animal Crossing, so real time, mind you. It takes about a real month to really unlock a lot of this stuff, and it's just a lot better because when stuff comes, you're ready for it, you're used to everything. It's not a bunch of useless stuff all thrown at you at once, and it's just great. It's one of my favorite Animal Crossing games in the series. It's really good. I highly recommend it. I love just that's one of my favorite games where, you're like waiting for someone or whatever. You have 5 minutes, just pull out Animal Crossing, walk around, talk to your neighbors. It's just, I love that game. I can't say enough good stuff about it. So definitely worth the price. Definitely worth picking up and playing. Next is Harvest Moon: The Tale of Two Towns. I'm a big fan of Harvest Moon, but this game is just not very good to me. I really didn't even play it much, but it just didn't do much for me. The first Harvest Moon game I played was Harvest Moon 64. That's maybe my favorite. I also love Magical Melody. So, you know, I really love Harvest Moon, and I've played a lot of the games, but this just wasn't very good. And then the fact that A New Beginning came out like a year later, it just goes to show, like, just putting out too much too fast. Like, I don't like, yeah, this, I definitely would not recommend this. I might pick it up again and play it sometime, but it just wasn't very good. I'm trying to think why. I actually haven't played it in so long that I don't remember why it sucked really, but you move into a town and you get to pick whether you want to do agriculture or livestock. Which, I mean, you get to do a little bit of both either way, but it's just not. I just didn't dig on that. I like Harvest Moon, going into it knowing you're going to do all of it and kind of slowly doing it all at once. And even no matter which one you pick, the game isn't very different. The towns are next to each other. You still get to go to both. You still get to do either one. But if you're going to play a Harvest Moon game, I haven't played A New Beginning, but from the experience that I have, if you want to play a Harvest Moon game, just stick to one that you know is good. I highly recommend Harvest Moon 64, Magical Melody, Friends of Mineral Town is awesome. A Wonderful Life is very different, but I think it's great. I recommend that one too, but I would not recommend that. Next is The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time 3D. Obviously, people think this is one of the greatest video games of all time, and I was excited to get this. This was supposed to come out at launch, and if you might not know this, but the Nintendo 3DS had a very poor launch. This was supposed to come out at launch, but it got delayed, so it was just released with a bunch of lackluster titles, and it just didn't have a strong launch. And then there was a price drop, and it just was very rocky. But this came out, I was very excited to play it, and I got it. And if you haven't played this, I would definitely get it. But if you have played Ocarina of Time a million times like I have, you'll probably have a very similar experience where you'll turn it on and you'll see the enhanced graphics and the 3D, and you're like, this is beautiful, this is awesome. And then 10 minutes later, you'll be thinking, oh yeah, I'm playing Ocarina of Time for the millionth time. That was really it. Like, once you get past the beautiful looks of it, it's just really, I mean, if you haven't played Master Quest, that's an option too. But yeah, not really worth it to me. I mean, it's a great game, don't get me wrong, but just if you have it on N64 or GameCube or downloaded it for the Wii or used any other opportunity Nintendo has given you to play it, I would just do that instead. But if you don't own it at all or you've never played it, definitely worth it. What needs to be said about Ocarina of Time? It's one of the best video games of all time, so definitely worth the money if you don't have any copy of it yet. Next is Nintendogs Plus Cats. I'd never played Nintendogs before, and they were selling this on Amazon for $8. And I really only bought it because I was trying to build up my 3DS collection. I don't even know. I played it for like a month pretty regularly, and it's okay. I don't even know what to say about it. Probably better for younger kids. With me being a full-grown man, it didn't really offer me much. Yeah, I mean, if it was $8, sure, buy it again, but I wouldn't spend a full-price game on that. Oh, this will be a fun one. Paper Mario Sticker Star. I think out of every Nintendo 3DS game I've ever played, this is by far the worst one. This game sucks. can't even explain how much I hated this game. Um, I can try to explain it. Like, you think Paper Mario, you think RPG. There's no overworld. I mean, there is an overworld. That's the problem. You don't. It's like levels. Like once you go to the. I'm trying to think how to explain this without sounding like an idiot. It's like Mario 3 overworld or Super Mario World where you move to each level, and once you click on the level, it takes you to like a like a 3D kind of RPG looking world. But I don't know. That really bothered me that there weren't. There wasn't a lot of walking from area to area or exploring. It was just level based, and that's not what I want with Paper Mario. And the other thing, like the big thing about it was, you need stickers to do everything, even your basic attacks. Like if you're familiar with any of the Paper Mario games, your basic attacks are jump and hammer, and you even need stickers to do those. So it just felt so wrong to me. Like, if you don't have enough boot stickers, Mario can't jump. That's just dumb. Like, Mario jumps, that's his deal. Like, that's the only thing he can do in some games. Like, why even bother? Like, I would have really liked it if, I like the sticker idea if it had been for, like, special moves or, like, items, but it's just, it sucks. Like, this game is really, really bad. There are no redeemable qualities. I think I spent $40 on this, too. Like, I paid full price for this piece of crap. Like, don't buy this game. This is terrible. I can't say that enough. Next, brand new Pokemon X. I like Pokemon a lot. I've been playing since Gen 1. I think I was in 3rd grade when I first started playing Pokemon. It's really good. I kind of talked briefly about it in like a video or two ago. Really fun, really cool. The graphics are great. But like everyone has been saying, it's just way too easy, which I agree with. But I think they were just trying to give something to everybody with this. I think by introducing Fairy type, they kind of changed the whole meta game. Like that's never going to be the same. So that's something for like more advanced players, like to myself to some degree. But then they made the game itself easier so younger kids can play it. And I don't see anything wrong with that because I know for me and a lot of people like me, the game itself is just crap you have to deal with until you can get to the meta game and just, train your advanced battling teams after you've beaten the game. So I see it as like a win-win. Definitely I would recommend it. Pick it up. It's great. It's fun. It's Pokemon like It's changed in a lot of ways. It's kind of what people my age have always wanted to see in Pokemon games. Like, when it first came out and we were playing it on the old brick Game Boys or the Game Boy Pockets, all you could think about was how cool it would look if you could have a 3D like console version. And games like Pokemon Stadium and Pokemon Snap kind of gave that to us, but they just weren't as good as the Pokemon RPGs. So this is the first time, and it's been like, 20 years? And we finally have that or something? So, yeah, I would definitely recommend it. I haven't played Y, but they're pretty much the same thing. So, yeah, definitely worth the money. Would definitely recommend this. Next is Resident Evil Revelations. I don't know how everyone else feels about Resident Evil. For me, started off as one of the greatest franchises of all time and has just slowly been working its way into the ground. This was supposed to have an older Resident Evil type feel to it, and it does a little bit. It's over the shoulder like Resident Evil 4. It was pretty good. I really enjoyed, this is kind of cheesy, but, I'd kind of like, turn the lights off in my room and just, play in the dark, try to get that old scary feel to it. And it was a good game. It was fun. My only complaint is that, it's not zombies, which is whatever. but it's just the BOWs, which I'm really not a fan of. Like, I love the zombies, I love the, whatever you call them, the Illuminados from 4 or whatever, but they're just like gray humanoid monsters, and that's not very scary, not as fun to kill. It was fun though. I would recommend it. I think it's going for like $30 now. Why not? It's better than Resident Evil 5, and about as good as Resident Evil 6. These days, what more can you really ask for from Resident Evil? So I would recommend it. If you're a die-hard Resident Evil fan, you'll probably think it's alright. Next is Sonic Generations. I got this for Christmas, and I was really looking forward to playing it, and it's pretty cool. I don't have a lot to say about it. It was pretty average. Like, I had fun playing it, but it's kind of one of those games where it's like when you get stuck, there's no, like, draw. You know, you're not like, man, I really want to figure this out and beat this level. When I got stuck, I was just like, alright, well, I just won't play anymore. Like, it just didn't do much for me. I've heard that the console version, actually, that's true for both of these. I've heard that the console ports of these are much, much better than the handheld version. And, yeah, so if you really want to play it, I'd try that. But, like I said, it was a gift, and it was a really, I enjoyed playing it. If you like Sonic, go for it. It does a really good job of doing exactly what it wanted to. It melds old style Sonic with new style Sonic. I'm a big fan of old Sonic games, and I don't like new Sonic games. But it was cool to experience both and see how they did, and the story's kind of cool. So yeah, this is a good, solid, like, C+ of a game. Like, it's definitely a game. Like, it sure is. So, I'm pretty on the fence about that. It's kind of like with Resident Evil. If you like Sonic, check it out. If you don't, you won't miss a whole lot, but it's still pretty fun. Next. Earlier, Steel Diver. Well, earlier I talked about the poor launch that the 3DS had, and this was the launch title that I bought. I'm trying to remember what other games were for the launch. There wasn't much. It was like Pilot Wings, Street Fighter, I think, Steel Diver, and like Super Monkey Ball. Like, that was it. Like, there was nothing. There was no Mario title. Zelda got delayed. The Pokemon game had just come out or was coming out before the DS, so no one cared. Like, so, but there was another YouTuber that I like a lot, and he said that he thought this was going to be the sleeper hit of the 3DS. So I was like, you know what? There's nothing else I want. I'll take his word for it. I'll get this. And, if you see this for like $20 somewhere, it might be worth trying, but this game is just really pointless in its existence. Like, the controls are really hard. They're not bad, they're just hard. Like, they're hard on purpose. And the 3D is pretty much useless. You're scrolling, it's just a side scroller, and you control a submarine, and you have to maneuver through obstacles. Like, that's literally all this game is. And I think I beat it on easy, and then I was like, well, I have no desire to play that ever again. And I haven't played it since. So I definitely wouldn't recommend this game. I'm still mad that I spent $40 on it. And, I mean, I'm not mad at the YouTuber that recommended it. How could he have known? But it's a bummer. It's kind of a bummer that I put so much stock in it and bought it, but at the same time, there was, like, nothing good on the release for the 3DS, so whatever, who cares. And finally, Super Mario 3D Land. This is the last 3DS game I have, and this game is really good. Yeah, like, I highly recommend it. It has a very... It's weird. It really combines a lot of Mario things. Like, it kind of has a feel of, like, the old Mario games, like 3 and World, but it's also... It looks like Mario 64. Like, the levels are still very linear, but in 3D instead of just being a side-scroller. and the power-ups are cool. The 3D actually works, and that's fun. It was a good game, and the best thing about it is that it feels short at first, but you realize that there's so much into the game that they don't let you on to at first. That this is a very long game. The challenge is there, but it's still fun. It's I think this is gonna be remembered as one of the classic Mario titles. Very good. So I would definitely recommend this one. That's it. That's all I have for right now. There are a few more 3DS games that I'm going to pick up that I've heard good things about. I just haven't done it yet. I've heard the Fire Emblem game is very good, and I've heard some good and bad things about Luigi's Mansion. I don't like that it's a level based, I think, or a side scroller. I really wish they would have stuck with the format of the first Luigi's Mansion, but I might play it and like it a lot. I don't know. I need to try that new Harvest Moon game, but it's pointless to talk about games I'm going to try because I haven't tried them yet, so why even bother talking about them? But thanks for checking it out, and I hope that if you picked up a 2DS or just picked up a 3DS because of Pokemon, but you want some other games, I hope this can point you in the direction of some games that are worth buying. So, yeah, same as usual. Thanks for checking it out. Check out the blog. Thanks for everything. Follow me on Twitter. I post a lot. And leave a comment if you want to talk about 3DS or other video games, or if you have any questions or comments or whatever. Thanks.